Hello, this is Ashi from Crafting with Ashi and welcome to this video. This is the project we're going to make. It's a lovely little box here called Follow Your Art. Okay, and it's a little toolbox, so it opens like that. And this is our multi-purpose tool that has the sticky pickup bit, the stylus, and then it has the attachment for the pokey tool and the little spatula and stuff. And it all just fits nicely in there with some magnets. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making today. Let me try and adjust the light so there's not so much of a glare. Okay, so that's what we're making. Okay, yeah, let's switch it off for now and you can see a bit better. That's the Follow Your Art. There we go. Okay, so supplies. We're going to be using Bermuda Bay cardstock. I've got two pieces here and they measure 8 by 5 inches and 8 by 5 inches and 9 3/4 by 3.5 inches. Okay, and then we have a scrap piece of whisper white and a scrap piece of white, and then we have some of the designer series paper here. This is the Follow Your Art designer series paper, and we have one piece here that measures 7 3/4 inches by 1 1/4, and then 7 3/4 by 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch rather I should say. So that's 7 3/4 by 1 1/4 and 7 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, so let's get started. I'm using here the piece that measures 8 inches by 5 inches, and I'm going to be scoring on the 5 inch side, and I'm going to score at 1 inch, and then I'm going to score again at 2.5 inches, and then again at 3.5 inches. Okay, so that's 1 inch, 2.5 inches and 3.5 inches, and that's all the scoring you're going to do on that piece. Then you're going to bring in your big piece, your tall piece, your 9 3/4 inch piece, and you're going to score at 1 inch on the side. So 1 inch twist, 1 inch twist, 1 inch twist, and 1 inch. Okay, so that's all our scoring done. So let's get rid of the scoreboard. Okay, so this is our long piece, the one that we scored 1 inch on all sides. So now I'm just going to fold on all these score lines and burnish it well with my bone folder. That helps me to see the lines. Okay, and now we are going to cut up to the score lines here and here. So I don't know if you can see. There you can. I'm going to cut up to the score line there and there. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut up, and then you're going to just take a little bit out like that to miter the corner like that. So we're going to do that on the opposite side again. Cut up to the score line and then take a little bit out. And then we're going to do that on the other side as well. Up to the score line, a little bit out, up to the score line, and a little bit out. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Okay, now I'm going to use some tear and tape to put adhesive on all 4 of these little tabs here. Okay, so we have tear and tape on all of those tabs. I'm just going to burnish it with my bone folder because this is pressure adhesive tape. So if you burnish it well like that, it'll make getting the backing paper off, as you can see, much easier. Okay. And last one. There we go. Ooh, it's sticking to me. Okay, so now we're just going to build our box, and we want our sides to be flush, so we want there at the sides for it to be straight so that it's flush, like that. So we have a square edge. So we're going to do it again here. This is why you need to burnish your cardstock with your bone folder to get this nice score line to meet up. And there we have our little box, the basis of our little box. There it is. So let's bring back our other piece that we scored. We're now going to fold on those score lines really well. Okay. So, what you want is, you're going to see here you have a small piece, a bigger piece, a small piece and a bigger piece. You are going to want to put your box with the big piece facing you. So as I said, you're going to have a small, big, small, big. And you want the big piece here nearest you, and that's where your box is going to go down on, like that. So now we need to put some tearing tape on the bottom of the box we created. So there we've got our what do you call the stuff, tearing tape at the bottom. So now I'm just going to do as before, just give it a push to make sure this tape is well adhered, because this is okay. And you can use Tombow for this, but as I've said before, me and Tombow don't have the best of relationships, unfortunately. Okay, so now you want to line up the edge of the box here with this score line here. So there should be a little bit of space on either side of the box to help. That seems about right. And you're going to fold it over, and there you go. There's your little box. Okay, so now I'm going to get my magnets, and we're going to put 3 magnets along here and their friends along there. Okay, so now we're going to put our magnets, and I've got my 3 magnets to start off here, and then I've got my 3 other ones over here. They're quite strong. I'm not going to use glue dots to attach them. So I'm going to do this before we put the paper on, so the paper will hide the magnet. I'm going to put one in the centre here. Okay. And then we're going to put one to the left and one to the right. So don't put it too close to the edge, otherwise you'll have trouble closing it. It'll make the paper warp as well. So there we have our 3 magnets. Now I'm going to put the 3, their little partners, on top of them. Make sure you put it the right way around so they do. There we go. And now we're going to put a glue dot on top of each one, like that. And paper piercing tool, pokey tool, is really useful for doing this. So that multi-use tool that we've got now, I can't think of the name now, is amazing because it does everything. Okay, so now we've got our magnets, so we can fold over our box, and then making sure everything's lined up in a square and nothing's pulled in the wrong direction. We're just going to fold it over and press down, and then voila, c'est bien. Okay, so then we have our magnets, so we have our closure like that. Wonderful. So now we're going to do some sticking of some of our designer series paper. So let's bring that in here. Bring our 3 pieces. That's our scrap whisper white. So here we've got our two side pieces and our top piece, so we're going to put some snail on the back of those. So let's get the snail out. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to put this, here's one of the smaller pieces, so we're going to put this on the side panel. The 3/4 inch piece goes on side panel, and then the larger piece, the 1 1/4 inch piece, goes on top. Like that. And then the last piece here. So that's the outside of our box that is decorated, like that. Okay. So now we're going to do some stamping. And you can also put paper if you want here, if you don't want the magnets to show. You can see I've done that here with this one. I've put just paper to cover it up, and it's just the same size paper as I've used for this piece here. And just cut it. So you can do that, or you can just leave the magnets to show, whatever you want to do. Now we're going to do some stamping, so we can do this a little bit here. Follow your art. So I'm going to bring in our piece of Whisper White. We're going to use Bermuda Bay ink because that's the colour of the cardstock we used. And I'll follow your art stamp. And just gonna down. Don't press too hard, just hold it in place. Brilliant. There you go. Close up the ink pad so that we don't make a mess. Now we're going to punch it out using this punch, the classic label punch. Okay. So, where is, just always with the punch upside down. You can then really see where you're punching. Yeah, that'll do. There we go. Follow your art. And then we're just going to do another piece from the scrap piece of Bermuda Bay. Okay. And now this piece of Bermuda Bay, we're actually going to cut it in half so we can use it as a matte piece. So you're just going to cut it from one point to the other point on it. There we go, so you've got two halves there. So now we're just going to put some snail on the back of our sentiment, like that. And then we are going to just line up our pieces so we have a little bit of a border. You can see better, get better in shot. Okay. I'm trying to get an equal amount around them. I haven't got it totally right. Yeah, sort of something like that. And then do the same again with this. So you have a little bit of a border, like that. So now we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. Two dimensionals. Take the backings off and whack it on the top of our box. Okay, so there you go. That's the one I made before. That's the one, I mean that's the one I made before, that's the one I made now. There you go again, you can have a look at it. Beautiful little box that holds our tool set. And this tool set, as I said before, is amazing with your sticky pickup, your stylus, your little spatula, your pokey tool and everything. And you can buy refills for the sticky pickup. So it is a must do, definitely a must do. So if you've bought the sticky pickup tool, then you need to make the box as well. So if you want the measurements or any information about the supplies, it'll be on my website in the blog post that goes with this video. Thank you for watching again. Can I ask you to please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it so YouTube know, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.